And they said these things are right. They said black seat from the back, white seat from the front. They said if you get out of if the bus gets filled up, you are to stand up for even a white boy to sit.
Yes, my shit right here. So that's my shit right here. Welcome back to another episode of Road to William. First off, I want to thank the subscribers. People been subscribing, been tuning into the different videos, commenting. I'm seeing way more comments. I'm just grateful and blessed. Thanks for the kind words. Keep pushing, keep going. I appreciate it. I don't take it for granted at all. But let's get right into it. Today's video, it kind of sprung on me. I kind of go with how I'm like feeling for the day. I try and plan what I want to talk about. I have stories I want to talk about, but a lot of times, more than that, I'm going off how I'm feeling that day. So today's video, we're focusing on Esther Rolle. I know Esther from Good Times, mainly, really. I know she's played in other um, roles with also the late Beatrice Arthur from Golden Girls, aka Dorothy. Okay, everybody knows how I love the Golden Girls. We're getting to the Golden Girls. Please. Yeah, so today is about Esther, and she's played in things like Raisin in the Sun and a whole bunch of iconic films. And I wanted to hear her speak, hear some of her wise words she has to give us that can help us with present day to move forward. And so, first, you already know how I do it. Wikipedia it. I had to know a little bit and more. We're gonna skim through this, but she was born November 8th. She passed away November 17th and was an American actress. She is best known for her role as Florida Evans on the CBS television sitcom Maude series Good Times, for which was nominated for a Golden Globe for Best Actress. Now, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it a bean. I'm a '90s baby. Okay, so I didn't know that was a spinoff. I didn't know Good Times was a spinoff. One, let me know in the comments if y'all knew that. Probably like, duh, you young motherfucker don't know nothing. Okay, chill, relax. Yeah. She was nominated for a Golden Globe for Best Actress, television series, musical, or comedy in 1976. In 1979, she won the Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actress. She initially studied at Spelman College in Atlanta before moving to New York City. While in New York, she attended Hunter College before transferring to the new school, and then Yale University. Worked in a traditional job in New York City's garment district. She was a member of a dance troupe. She became the director in the 60s. She was often cast in plays. She played as Florida Evans, which that's kind of funny because she's from Florida. I just think that's kind of funny. Like that's your name. Like you literally putting your people on the map. She was married and then they divorced. She didn't have no kids. She had a stepdaughter from the previous marriage. She passed away in Culver City, California from complications of diabetes at the age of 78. She was buried in Florida. The cemetery is a historically Black burial ground created in 1952 at a time when the laws and customs of Florida did not permit white people and Black people to be buried in the same cemetery. Yeah, they said even after death, we want segregation. Okay, legacy. Okay, her family donated over 100 items of hers to the African American Research Library and Cultural Center in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Let me know if y'all have attended that, seen that. The collections includes gowns, recording of poems, her Image Award, her Emmy. She's been in a lot of stuff. Look at this. Look at this. She worked up in literally until her passing. Down in the Delta. Down in the Delta is one of the most depressing movies you will ever watch. No. Down in the Delta got Alfred Woodard, okay? And they had Wesley Snipes in it. Oh, she was in Touched by an Angel, General Hospital, Rosewood, which I'm gonna do a separate video on Rosewood. because I was learning so much just through this interview, through the guy who played in Holiday Heart, the main character. I didn't know he was. We got to do something on him because I'm like, bro, he got some accolades. Do I wish to interview some of these people who are still living today? That's paved history for us. Yes, tell them to come on my show. If you got the connect, tell them I ain't got no money, but I got a platform. And I got really good questions. I have really good questions. They like, bro, keep going. Um, Driving Miss Daisy, American Playhouse, Ethnic Notions, Murder She Wrote, Finder of Lost, Fantasy Island, The Love Boat, Flamingo Road, See China, The Incredible Hulk, Good Times, of course, Maude, of course, Cleopatra Jones, Don't Play Us Cheap, the very thing first noted, Nothing But a Man. Y'all let me know what y'all favorite ones or what I should focus on, what I should go watch. You feel me? Let me know. Now, let's get into it, shall we? And have y'all seen my video with the Malcolm X family? If you haven't, go check that out. It's gems on gems being dropped all through that interview.
Having you here for this production at the Dallas Theater Center, of course, has attracted a lot of attention because you two are who you are, and the play is James Baldwin, and the Dallas Theater Center has a reputation for doing really fine theater. But I'd like to ask you, Ms. Rolle, what do you think is the overall appeal of this play?
I think it's a classic. It is purely an ethnic play. It is a play where people can learn about other people, interrelate with other people. Because Baldwin has written a play as he knew it in a little church somewhere, USA, black church, USA. There's such a warm, familiar flavor to it.
Nowadays, and for some years actually, television has always, or at least for some years, Ms. Rolle, been able to get mass audiences for predominantly Black casts and Black stories. Bill Cosby now is, the case, the prime example. But why is it that it seems to me the theater has always had to fight to get that mass audience and what they call the crossover audience? Why is that?
Well, it's rather simple. The cost is high, and the work is so much more. If I were to do a television show, I'd make 90 times the amount of money I could make on the stage, and I won't have to do half the work because I've got an engineer to see that my voice is right. I got a lighting person to keep up with where my lights are, and somebody's marking the floor every minute of the way. They say, stand right here, stand right there. So what do you have to do? You have very few words to learn. You learn your little play. You've got a whole script to learn. And once the curtain goes up, there is no technician helping you. No one can help you. What your audience sees, what you get. Therefore, it has a different. I think it's also more satisfying to the audience than television. I'm sure it is to the artist, but I think the audience enjoys it more. They feel they've had a touch of reality when they see a stage play. Unfortunately, the cost of an audience seeing a play is so high. Broadway is just barely hanging on because the tickets are so high. By the time you pay a babysitter, have dinner, a drink, see the play, you're out a good $150. And how many people can afford that? I'm so glad that this play is being done here by Virginia Black academy in circumstances where the people, the masses, can come and see it at $10. They can afford to come. I hope they recognize what Mr. King is trying to do and support it fully so that he won't have to work so hard the next time. But I hope he's going to garner an audience, a large audience who develop a taste and will not lose that taste for theater. I think people need theater. Theater is badly needed, especially so among blacks. Whites have had theater, well, they haven't really had theater longer than us because when it was white, it was black performers in the beginning. And blacks were doing the performing when blacks couldn't go into the theater. I would like to see more black theater being presented to the masses. Contrary to what many people think, theater is not simply entertainment. Theater is history. The only way our children are going to know what our grandparents looked like, dressed like, spoke like, is through the theater. Theater preserves culture in its entirety. That, I think, is one of the reasons that Shakespeare is still very important. It captures a part of the flavor of the life of that time. And when we can preserve so that children 15 years old wouldn't look around and say, who is Martin Luther King? I don't know. See the statue and say, who is that? I don't know. That's a man. They should know. I mean, everybody knows who King Henry VIII was, and he was here so many centuries ago. But you've got an idea how they ate, how they dressed, and the political behavior of the people. This is what I think is so important that we get to our young people. That preservation of that part of our culture that isn't necessarily being preserved by the majority society. And it is our responsibility to do it, I feel.
Shout out to the Bobby Wagner archives. Go check them out. Go finish the video out with them. Next, we're gonna do
Reppin' the WNBA, baby. Ayy. Put your W's up, put your W's up, put your W's up. PG is free, back with the Mercury.
But man, what so many people loved about it was the positivity of family, because that's what's really there a lot of times.
Yes.
Now, that's not the part that gets portrayed in the news.
Right.
Because all we get is the negative that's glamorized. But a lot of people in the hood, man, that are great people, go to church, go to work.
Right.
They're all of that. That's really good.
Well, I give a lot of that. I give a lot of that to Esther Rolle because she wanted a husband on the show. They wanted to do it without a husband. And she said, no, I want a husband on the show because I was raised with a father and a mother. And I know I was raised with a father and a mother. And I wanted America to see that Black men stay with their families and raise their children.
Right. That was important.
shout out to Steve Harvey's show for that clip. So let me know in the comments if y'all seen Rosewood. I feel like I'm probably gonna have to watch this movie, so pray for me. But just reading off just a little bit of what it's about, I'm like, oh, there we go. But let's hear what Esther has to say.
Esther, it's so nice to see you. The only other time I talked with you was in Dallas, and you're in Dallas, you tell me, rather often.
Yes, I do.
Time.
It's good to see you.
And I must congratulate you on the wonderful performance in Rosewood.
Oh,
Such-
thank you.
Oh, it is just absolutely noteworthy, if I may say so.
Oh, well, kind of you.
Did you know anything about Rosewood before the film?
Not about Rosewood, but Rosewood is an incident that's happened all over. So very often. Through the South and the West. And the East and the North. in the smaller towns. They get away with it because you don't hear so much about theirs. They don't boast about it like the Southerners and the Westerners did. But this kind of thing was going on everywhere, all over. I had not heard, and I'm Floridian, and I had not heard of Florida's Rosewood, but I had heard of so many others. And of course, it was easy for me to recreate the feeling of those times.
But when they would ask you,
But that's a danger, a direct danger. And they know that. You see, the laws were created and they said these things are right. They said black seat from the back, white seat from the front. They said if you get out of if the bus gets filled up, you are to stand up for even a white boy to sit. But at the change box, they never showed you any difference in the fare. So we have always paid more for everything in this country. We have always given more than anyone has given in this country. And you don't like it, but you get used to it. You don't allow it to eat you. You try to change it as much as you can and to give yourself some kind of solace, some kind of something be a salve to soothe. That's all you can do.
in your life today, do people instantly recognize you as Esther Rolle?
Yes, they do.
And how do they?
Very nice. I've never had a problem with people. Some of these people go around with bodyguards and a troop of people surrounding them. Who wants you? Nobody's gonna bother. I don't understand it. I really don't. Because I go where I want to go. If I want to ride the bus, I ride the bus. I used to do that here. So I really liked to ride the buses and the subways with. It scared me out of the subways. Oh, else I'm getting a little older and don't like to climb those stairs. But I can leave the subway alone now. But I still like to ride public transportation and see things.
When you look back on your television career, which of your characters do you remember most fondly?
I love them all. I love the good times. It later got to be not so much fun, but I loved what it did for others as much as for me. The program was the first time in the history of this country that a black father was shown. That's because I loved my father. He was so good to us and for us.
All right, y'all. Go finish it out. That's about Rosewood. I'm gonna do a review on Rosewood. So stay tuned
Here's a
on that.
1982 Detroit Black Journal interview with actress Esther Rolle about being black in Hollywood.
I've never run around Hollywood because I'm a sensitive person. And it has, for me, it brings back the ocean block.
I just wanted to get name recognition.
My goal was not stardom. My goal was not Hollywood. My goal was a good actress.
Esther Rolle, summer of my journal film.
I'm totally unprepared, ladies and gentlemen. Thank everyone who were so responsible for me being in this. I told Linda Gottlieb when I read that I'm no reader, but I feel that I could do the part if she'd give me a chance and trust me. She reminded me of that tonight. May I say thanks to that cast, to that crew, to all the very wonderful people there. I won't begin to name names because I'll get in trouble. I'm not very good at it. I'm thinking right now of 4 ladies that surrounded me as I left home. The people who got me together for this, and to all the wonderful people who have supported me throughout my career. Thank you, NBC, for recognizing me. Thank you all.
Yeah, people in that. Brian.
Good times, Miss Esther Rolle. Well, how do you deal with it? How do you deal with your that stardom? Oh,
It's it. Be yourself. That's all there is to it for me.
I mean, coming from the stage, because I think most of the nice people out here are not aware of the fact that her background was anything but comedic. She is a serious dramatic actress of the legitimate theater.
Well, anyway, that's what I thought until they called me down and said, "You're funny." I thought I was the last of the heavies.
Tell me about the thing. Somebody made a note for me, and they mentioned something about the thing that you played a cannibal.
Sammy.
No, but you got rave reviews, so I understand.
Sure. It was something we did at the Negro Ensemble Company called God is a Guest Book. That was the name of it. I didn't have a role in it. I was always cast as the one-liner, some kind of a character. And they couldn't find the cannibal. They hadn't found the cannibal yet, so they allowed me to read it. So for about the first week and a half of the rehearsal, I read it. And then they said that I was to replace Frances, the girl who was playing one of the major roles, in the last 2 weeks of the show. I said, no, I won't do that, because by the time you spend 3 weeks in a show, you're just beginning to know what the show is about. And there's no time to take a role away from somebody. So I said, no, I wouldn't do that. I said, let me play the cannibal. You're joking, because I was quite conservative, believe it or not. And they said, you're joking. I said, I'm not joking. I want to play the cannibal. And of course I did. I had to make up my own words because nobody knew any words that the cannibal says. So having been an African dancer for some time, I had learned many African songs, and what I did was just spoke many, many titles of songs, and they swore I was singing. I love that. But believe it or not, I got some of the greatest reviews for that show.
The influx, and I'm not speaking of just Black performers, I'm speaking of all performers. We're seeing an influx of stage performers coming into television, and they bring a quality that's kind of special. Do you miss the stage?
I cannot tell a lie. Yes, I do. I love what I'm doing. But the stage is the ABC of the business. Yeah. So every now and then, I'd like to go back and recharge my batteries, you know. Because there is a thing about the stage. You really know what you are and what you're doing. You have no help. Once that curtain goes up, that's it. You're on your own. There is no sound man to tone down your voice or bring it up. There is no lighting man to show the better side of you. There is nothing. You're out there by yourself. But you do get to know you and what you're capable of doing. And there's a kind of sense of achievement in knowing I did. That was me. I love it.
Thank you all for tuning in to Road to William. Make sure you share this video, like this video, subscribe if you haven't already. Yeah, let me know your thoughts on Esther and your favorite film or show or anything that you remember about her. Let me know in the comments. Be on the lookout for another video coming out day by day. We doing this. Go check out the old videos in the meantime to get caught up. And we about to keep going. Let me know in the comments also if you want me to put some light on somebody, or if you're the light I need to put on you. What are you doing? What are you doing for the community? Oh. Okay then. Peace.
So I just smash it, man.